Hello, everybody, and welcome to Out of the Park Baseball 27 here. It is debut day on OOTP 27, where we are playing as Walker Burnett and the Colorado Rockies. Now, I'm aware the Rockies are probably going to be a pretty popular choice, right, for teams, for people to try to play as them, try to see if you could save the franchise, so to speak. Now, one of the reasons for that being said is we'll get into their farm system or their lack of a farm system here in just a moment. We also have some staff vacancies. No thanks. All right, so I am an unproven general manager, Walker Burnett. I'm not the manager. Currently, we have Warren Schaefer, who is our manager. He went 36 and 86 with the Rockies last year. So apparently, we decided that was worth $1.2 billion and a chance to continue. Now, what are we missing? Oh, our A+ hitting coach. Coach ratings. There we go. An A+ level hitting coach. Dave Winters is outstanding at teaching hitting. Okay, development and mechanics are excellent and outstanding for Tyler Wolf. He's only okay at teaching hitting, but that's all right. 32 years old. We'll try to sign him $75,000. We'll submit the offer, see what he says. So you are able to go in and make staffy changes, right? He's excellent. Danny Montgomery is excellent at scouting the amateurs, average in the minor leagues, and average in international. How much would it cost to fire Danny? $1.2 million. That's an awful lot of dead money for us to eat. I was going to try to get a better international scout, but that'll just have to do. All right, so my point is, we look at this roster. Kyle Freeland is our ace. That is disgusting. Like, Kyle's, like, I don't hate Kyle, but here in OOTP, right, you can see he's making $60 million. He's a side through 2027, University of Evansville, 8 years, 144 days. Now, last year pitched 162.2 innings, had a 4.98 ERA, which was 5 and 17, which was slightly better than what he did the year before, in terms of his ERA anyway. 32 years old. He's a left-hander. In OOTP, kind of the gold color is bad. It's like below average to maybe at best around average. All right, he's got decent control. He's a fly ball pitcher, which, if you know anything about baseball, Coors Field in Denver, Colorado, or even just the fact that Denver is a very elevated location, is a bad idea. 2.5 stars, doesn't demand a lot of attention. It goes unnoticed. This is my ace. We signed him to an $81.5 million contract, and we owe player option for next year of $17 million. That is just incredible. So, we have, the players' strategy here. We do have the manager control of that. We might change that to the general manager. There's not much we can really do in terms of development at this point in time for a lot of people. Trying to see, like, career-wise. Oh, baseball card. That's what we should collect. Why do I have to import them? Why can't I just... Okay, pitching stats, I guess. Right, he's a career 65 and 90 pitcher with a career 4.45 ERA, or 4.54, I should say. Why is I don't know. Like the wording seems a little bit off. Like career high is a little off to the side. So that is our ace. We have Jose Quintada, 6 million. So the Rockies have money. Michael Lorenzen again, just nothing there. 34 years old, 7.75 billion. Jason Dolander, 24 years old, might be arguably the best pitcher of the group. Extreme fly ball, though, you don't love that in Coors Field. And then you have Ryan Feltner down here, who's just, oh my God. Offensively, there's a few players who are not terrible. Hunter Goodman, 26-year-old catcher, decent power, gap power. He's okay at blocking. Can't really play too many other positions. He runs all right. Will strike out a little bit. 26 years old, but he did hit 31 home runs, 91 RBIs, and hit almost 280 for the Rockies a year ago. Ezekiel Tovar, similarly, Venezuelan shortstop, 24 years old, pretty decent. Not a great eye. Okay on the base pass, pretty good defensively. Hit 269 a few years ago. Then he dipped down to 253 last year. Lost a lot of the power, right? Only hit 9 home runs and 390 at bats, or plate appearances with 360 at bats. But could be a decent player, right? So you could have Goodman, Kyle Caros, 23-year-old third baseman, good defensively. Not great with the power, right? But the other stats are okay offensively. Probably not like an elite third baseman. Brenton Doyle in center field, very similarly. Great defensively, not that great offensively, but not terrible. Jordan Beck, actually, he is going to strike out a decent amount, but he has a good batting average on balls in play. Gap power is improving a little bit. He might be okay. So there's a few fielders who are not terrible. Mickey Moniak, pretty good could get better at avoiding Ks. 27 years old, $4 million a year. Power's not terrible. 24 home runs, 68 RBIs, hit 270 for the Rockies last year. So you can say Moniak, Beck, Doyle, Tovar, Goodman. Right, the lineup itself is not awful. The starting pitching staff is just absolutely horrendous. And another reason why is if you could go in here and you could go to the minor league system rankings for the entire league. Pittsburgh Pirates are first, which is kind of surprising. We had to expect them to have that good of a farm system. But the Pirates are first. The Rockies are 28th out of 30th. 28 out of 30. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the NL West is you have the Padres here, you've got the Diamondbacks, you've got the. Okay, so just those two because then you go all the way up to. Where are the Dodgers? Where are the Dodgers? I'm looking. There they are, 12th. And then, so you have the Padres, the Rockies, the Diamondbacks, and the Giants are 20th. So not only are the Dodgers outspending everybody, but also they have the best minor league system, according to the game anyway, in the NL West. We only have one player who's considered to be rated, Ethan Holiday, 19-year-old third baseman. So this kind of tealish blue means you're above average, right? That you're not maybe not amazing, but you're very, very good. He's a double-A ball, 19-year-old third baseman, left-handed bat. Can also play a little bit of shortstop. Infield range is all right. Arms pretty good. Base paths are pretty good. Looks like he could be a 5-tool player, right? Don't want to rush him up to the majors though. Do not want to rush him up to the majors. It's rated as a 66 prospect in baseball. So Again, obviously that would help out the offense, right? You add him, let's say Tovar sticks, maybe Doyle sticks, Goodman sticks. Let's say Holiday sticks around, right? Maybe a couple of those other pieces will stick. So the lineup, you've had Moniak, third baseman, Doyle, Tovar, Goodman, Beck, right? It's not an awful lineup. I don't think it's like a World Series kind of caliber lineup, obviously, but it's not an awful lineup. But what we really have got to do is fight some pitching. We have got to be able to fight some pitching. So we're going to go in, we'll read the emails, see what the owner is expecting from us. So first of all, let's find out what our owner's personality is. He's demanding, controlling, he's normal personality, he's balanced financially. Play close to 500 baseball this season. Upgraded first base, fight a top 20 prospect, build a top 6 minor league system, increase fan interest, and keep building your team up in order to reach the playoffs in the next 5 seasons. Those are some very ambitious goals, Mr. Charlie. Those are some very ambitious goals. I mean, this one's going to be doable. Playing 500 baseball, probably not. Building a top 6 minor league system, we don't have enough major league talent to trade for other minor league prospects, so we could try to draft well, but we're not going to be able to just create that overall. Find a top 20 prospect, that might be possible if we're able to hit on one early in the draft. Increase fan interest, depending upon how bad we are, that might be difficult, but that is still amazing to me. Play close to 500 ball. There is nothing, and I mean nothing. We're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive here into the Rockies. There is nothing about this team that tells me that that's a realistic approach, right? You can see 2025, we made $600,000 revenue per game. We're projected to make $850,000 plus 41%. Because we did increase season ticket prices by 2.1%, although we are expected to lose 15.8% average attendance. We averaged 29,687 last year. We have a capacity of 50,482. You can see here we have the 21st largest payroll or budget in baseball, $174 billion. Player payroll, we're 19th, $109.699 billion. We have $22 billion available, 23.7 available for extension. We are rebuilding. Our market size is average. We have pathetic fan loyalty, and our fan interest is 35. Over here, you kind of have your budget information and extension information. Kind of just talking about the generic budget there. Year to date, we've spent $19.1 million. We're projected to spend $151.9, and we're projected to make $179. So, $28 million profit. Year to date, we've made $103, 15 from the season ticket revenue, 32.5 from local media, and 55 from the national media. Salary wise, there are some bad salaries on this team that I don't think we're going to be able to get out from. Lorenzen, $7.8 million this year, team option for 9. We can decline that. Senzatella, similarly, $12 million. We can decline the team option at the end of this year. Freeland is a player option. Don't love that. And then we have Chris Bryant, who's on the DL. He's making $27 million a year. He's a first baseman, 40 power, decent BIP. Contact's not awful, but he's played 11 games last year, 37 games the year before that. Injuries are just kind of wrecking him. Was my favorite player on the Cubs when they won the World Series in 2016. And then Willie Castro at second base. Switch hitter, $6.4 million. He's decent. I can't say he's great. Hit 245 with the Twins, 170 with the Cubs, 247 with Minnesota in 2024. So he's okay. 6.4 billion. I mean, that's not awful. Quintana 6 billion will come off the books. That'll help this year. Tovar eventually get up to 23 billion, but that is a team option year 2031. Before that, he gets up to 16 billion. Bretton Doyle could get up to 13.6 billion, but that's a reasonable contract, right? That is a reasonable contract. I'm not saying it's a great contract, but it's reasonable. So we start with the Miami Marlins. It's not the worst team in the world. What is the draft ranking? We pick 10th. 6.42 billion is the projected slot available. Really, we picked 10th. Were we better than I thought they were last year? No, they weren't. They went 43 at 119, 61 101, 59 103. They've lost over 100 games 3 straight years. All right, in full seasons since 2018, they've only lost less than 90 games once. So you can see that, like, the one good thing is, I mean, he's 66 years old. Again, patience demanding, physical personality controlling, involvement's normal, and his priority is balanced. He wants us to play close to 500. That's just not going to happen. Next year, upgrade a position, find a top prospect. Holiday ranks around 73rd. Build a top farm. We're 28th apparently. Improve fan interest. It's 35 and 35, and build up the team to make the playoffs. So you can see, just we've been really bad for 7 years in a row now. Right? And how much money did it? Okay, I'm trying to remember. Said we had $22 million available. So we have 10.4 billion of player development. Draft budget, we have 8.9, and the international free agent budget, we have 5.4. All right, so you can adjust your budgets at the start. There we go. 12 million will still be a little bit low, but it'll be better than what it was. And player development budget, we'll go 15.5. Oh, you know what? What the heck? We'll go 16.5. So we'll meet the league development budget baseline. The development lab, there's not a lot you could do at this point in time. It's more during the offseason. You can select a few players, try to get them into different roles that they might be good at. You know, for example, like you could take Ethan Holiday here, and we could say display programs that cannot be completed prior to the season starting, right? So that's the problem with that. Now, scouting wise, we're spending 8.7 billion. The league maximum is 33. The baseline is 11. We'll go 12 million. And we're just kind of evening out amateur to international scouting as well as our minor league scouting system. And you can see excellent the amateurs average everywhere else. So we can adjust your scouts, you can adjust your trader, you can adjust kind of pretty much everything with the Rockies. So again, 43 and 119, I would like to think we could do a little bit better than that. But realistically, I don't have any idea why Charlie Monfort thinks we're going to be good or good enough to say, hey, you need to be around 500. Because that is just wild. Are there any free agents? Like, are there literally any free agent starting pitchers that we can like maybe sign off the scrap heap? Who they're not going to be great. Ian Anderson, 27-year-old right hitter. No. But just somebody. Brandon Bielak. No. I mean, he's not really any worse than anybody we have, but because of that, I don't want to spend any money, right? Chris Clark. No idea who he is. Nestor Cortez. He played for the Yankees? No, okay. Different Nestor, apparently. And 35 years old, though, for De Scalfani. Devi Garcia from the Dominican. Another extreme fly ball pitcher. That's one of the things we are definitely going to look out for is try to find pitchers who are more and more. How long is this? He's injured. Luis Garcia, 29 years old, 6'1", 245, and he's injured. Like, I don't think I want that. Giolito, $3 million is extremely hard, they think, to sign him. Yeah, I'm just not seeing. I mean, I knew we weren't going to find like a 4-star pitcher or anything like that on the free agent market at this point in time, but I don't know. Like, I thought we might see some. We have Luis R. Rodriguez. He's a lefty. He's neutral, 94 to 96, 96 to 98. We're going to request a scouting report. Because he could develop into a average-ish pitcher, which is just awful that we think that is some kind of a achievement. Marcus Stroman's best days are behind him. I mean, he wasn't necessarily an ace in his prime, but he's arguably just as good, if not better, than Kyle Freeland ever was. So, Ryan Burr for $1.5 million. Jake Cousins is injured, so we don't really want to sign him. Angel Philippe. Yeah, I guess that's all we're going to do is have this one scouting report. Because I keep looking around, there's just not anybody else really. Wes Benjamin, that's not worth anything, or he's not worth anything. Brandon Bielak, no. Chris Clark, 27-year-old, no. Davila from Venezuela. Yeah. No, so we do have a scout report for a pitcher. Let's try to see. I'm going to take another look here at the rookie draft. We see the mock draft. Okay, does it seem like there's going to be, we could actually say what player it might be? Yeah, college players, guys we think could be starters. Zane Adams. Edwin Alicea, 6'5", 240 pounds, left-hander, borderline starter, South Florida. We'll scout him. Colby Allen, sorry. Okay, he's got some decent stuff. Neutral 90 to 92, 94 to 96. He's bullpen emergency starter, not great stamina. But honestly, the potential stuff there is enough to intrigue me. Brandon Alvarezson, with quite a beard, fastball, slider. Yeah, but the rest of it's really not that good. Michael Barnett. Anyway, we won't keep doing this on and on and on. I just will look at a few more guys. Max Bales, Trey Beard, Trey Awful, Donovan Becerra, Awful. All right, so Ryan Bilka here, 21 years old, 6'1", 200 pounds. His stuff and movement's not great, but the fastball, slider, changeup can all be plus pitches. I don't know, man. Like, I just, is that worth it? Ben Blair. Folger Boaz, 6'2", 290. Fastball and slider could be above average. Changeup would be right above average. Okay, this guy, David Bosvert, 6'6", 225 pounds, 22 years old. Slider, changeup, and sinker could all be, average to above average. Not great stamina, terrible stamina, actually. But we will try to scout him because, he could potentially be a bullpen arm for us. I just want to get through the B's right now. Nate Britton. Control is just not where we need it to be. Fly ball pitcher as well, so we don't really want that. Reese. Not that good. Thomas Burns. Same. So right now we are just looking at college players because in theory they're going to be more ready. If we looked at high school players, Carlson Bowman could be really, really good. Neutral, so he's not a fly ball pitcher. Let's see, we have Joseph Contreras, ground ball pitcher like that. He's Brazilian. He's a Brazilian American. Definitely like that aspect. Sean Duncan, neutral, not a hard thrower, but pretty good everywhere else. We'll request that scouting report. And then Blake Bryant. Yeah, so we might end up drafting high school pitchers and try to find guys other relatively cheap. Coleman here, fly ball pitcher, so we're not interested in him. So that's kind of where we're at with our scouts. We've already adjusted the scouting budget. We'll take a look at what emails we have. Wolf reacts the contract. We finished a scouting report on Colby Allen. He's 1.5 stars. We think he could be 2.5. He's a 22-year-old right-hander from Louisville, Mississippi. Top it at 90 to 92 on the radar gun. He throws 3 pitches with his bread and butter pitch, a sinker. His inability to throw strikes is going to lead to high pitch counts and walks. With some seasoning, he has the makings of a 5th starter. I get that, but we don't have any starters right now. Tyler Wolf was a better contract. Let's give him 85,000. He wanted 80. We'll try to give him 85,000. See what he says to that. So yeah, again, my goal is to win 50 games or better, and hopefully we can pull that off. I'm going to try. If some of these veterans have decent seasons, we're going to move their contracts out. I have changed the trade sliders to be, more modest. Not be easy, but at the same time not be incredibly difficult. Tyler Wolf says that it was a fine offer. He prefers it at the moment. We received a personal message. Wolf does agree. Okay, Contreras, we have the scout report on him now. His current ability is a 1.5 star relative to the MLB, 5-star potential. Born in Alpharetta, Georgia, he is a real worm killer who will generate a high number of ground balls. He will throw 4 pitches with his forkball likely ending up in his best one. He should have a truly elite stuff when all is said and done. He'll walk a few batters because of his great control. Or he'll walk few batters, so not a few. Okay. He has the potential to be an impact starter. So that is where we're going to end up today's episode, or end today's episode, I should say. Thank you, everybody, for your time tonight. We are going to play the season opener, right, on camera, and then we'll see how long we go in between games. I know technically with out of the park baseball manager, you want to spread them out a little bit because you have 162 games, it's a long season, etc., and you want to have enough data and events in between each to kind of be interesting when you come back. I do enjoy playing the games in the little game engine itself, so that does slow it down a little bit for me. But anyways, we'll play around with that, see how often we plan on coming back, to play games on camera and to talk. But for an introductory episode, try to get a little bit better in the future. Thank you, everybody, again, for listening, and I hope everybody's doing well. Talk to you later.